Hey there, guys! Welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. Get your web shooters ready because we're gonna talk all about Spider-Man and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's been a while, but it's good to be back. I haven't really done a live show in November, but I did one on Halloween, and the spirits took over, and now I've been resurrected. Hopefully, the audio's okay. I had some technical issues the last couple of weeks here. Oh, sounds good. But yeah, guys, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me once again for a brand new live show. So much to talk about. I missed you. I did shoot a Ghostbusters Afterlife first reaction video. I actually shot it in Walmart tonight because I was looking for some early Black Friday deals, but I do have that video on my phone right now. I just need to put it on my computer, edit it real quick, and upload it. But rather than doing that, I was like, I'll just do a live show because the other day we got a brand new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. And I thought it was the best trailer yet for the film. And I almost made a reaction video on the trailer. Then I got on YouTube and I saw 8,927 videos. And a majority of them had little red circles with arrows pointing to it, with things in the trailer a blind man could see. But something about that made me not want to talk about it that day. I was like, this is just stimulus overload. I have to wait a few days and collect my thoughts. But overall, I did enjoy it. It clearly looks like there's a lot of manipulation going on in the trailer from the studio to hide things after the fact. And as I'm talking about it, guys, if you guys want to chime in right now in the chat and let me know what you guys thought about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I'll read some of your comments and theories and questions and concerns because I have a few. But anyway, as far as like the actual trailer goes, there was another version released, I believe, in is it Brazil, South America, another country, and it shows a few different cuts of things happening. And in one of those cuts, something very interesting happens, and it's where the lizard, it's that money shot. The trailer has that money shot, and it's in the trailer you see Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, swinging at Electro, the Goblin, I think the Sandman's back there, and also you see Lizard in there, and all of a sudden Lizard just gets punched by John Cena, and you're like, okay, there's something we're not seeing there, and they took it out. It looks like it would have been 3-on-4 kind of thing, but either way, that's fine by me. If we know they're in the movie, we know deep down there's more Spider-Mans in that film. Because if they didn't do that, what a waste of opening up the multiverse. Like, you can't have a multiverse without multiple Spider-Mans if you're going to have multiple villains. It just doesn't make sense mathematically. But yeah, I like that they're not showing that. Please don't show that. Thank you for not showing that, Marvel. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, I thought the one shot of Electro, who, by the way... Oh God. He doesn't look all shitty and blue anymore. It's my birthday, Spider-Man. Want to blow up my candles? He looks like he should, but and I'm going to be nitpicky because that's what I do. There's that one shot where you have a close-up of Jamie Foxx as Electro, and it looks like the CG's a little not quite finished. We're still in that PS2 phase where his face just looks like it's a video game graphic if you just pause it. But if you're just watching the fast-paced action of the trailer, you're not going to notice it. Also, one shot I really did enjoy, and this is just a theory from my brain to you guys. And we have like 200 of you guys in here right now, so thank you for that. The shot where it looks like Zendaya is falling off of a building, which she is falling off of a building because every damsel in distress in every Spider-Man film needs to fall off a building, where Spider-Man needs to make a choice. Do I save these nameless citizens, or do I save my girlfriend? I mean, come on. I'm going to let my girlfriend die. But yeah, and if you watch parts of the trailer, it looks like she's falling off at a different point in the movie, and then it cuts to like a guy in a Spider-Man suit saving her. But something about that version of Spider-Man diving down to save Zendaya, MJ, doesn't look like Tom Holland Spider-Man to me. It looks different. It looks manipulated by the studio as just for the trailer. It almost looks like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, in my opinion. Just the way the body's a little bit longer and stretched out, and some of and if you pause that scene in the trailer, Spider-Man is so blurry in that scene. Like they added like 18 blur filters to him, and MJ looks like a little bit more clear. I'm just saying, I don't think that's Tom Holland Spider-Man. I have a feeling like, and this is just what I would like to see. This is all I'm saying. I would like to see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man jump off a building, save a lady to redeem his shortcomings in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I would like to see that. He gets to redeem himself by saving the lady of the movie. I don't know. That's just what I think would be cool at one point. It's almost like in Batman v Superman, where where Superman's mother's in trouble, being held hostage, and Batman's like, "I'll save her. Trust me." And then he goes off to the warehouse to kick some ass and save her. I'm almost hoping for a moment like that, where Andrew Garfield's like, I'll save her. And then, Tom Holland goes off and fights somebody else. So anyway, those are my quick thoughts on the trailer. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Let's dive into some of your questions on here, as I forgot how to use this. And you guys already killed it with the super chats, and we're going to get to every single super chat. Don't worry. But we're going to talk about this for a few minutes, and then we'll dive into whatever you guys want to talk about as usual, because that's how the live shows work. It's whatever you guys want to talk about. I don't just make up the topics I care about. It's what you want to hear. And if you guys want to talk about weird stuff, that's fine too. Okay. Man, there's a lot of questions already. Okay. I'm going to try to catch up as quickly as I humanly possibly can. Okay. Aneurysm Fun, what a great name. At what point do we just acknowledge Spider-Man as a shitty boyfriend? Good point, yes. They fall the exact same way every time. Laugh out loud. I was the only one who rolled my eyes when he slowly fell off the building. Yeah, also that one shot, that close-up of Tom Holland where it looks like he got his ass kicked, that looks sort of digitally manipulated. Something about it looks like almost like a Snapchat face filter put onto someone else's face, maybe. But yeah, I mean, he's not the best boyfriend, but he's a teenager. He's conflicted. He has these powers. He doesn't know what to quite do with them. Imagine this. Imagine you're a teenage boy, but rather than go through puberty, you just wake up one day shooting a different kind of web. You're all sticky, but yet you have these super abilities. That was my dream as a 12-year-old boy. But I get it. He can't be the best boyfriend ever. I mean, I'm sure there's worse ones who don't even have superpowers, but I get it. And thanks for the question and the super chat. Airstrike says, spending $5 to correct my last super chat that auto-corrected screwed up. Nah, never mind. It's too late. Too much time has passed. Well, either way, thank you for the $5. Much appreciated, man. I can buy 2 of these bad boys tomorrow. So thank you. You will keep me alive for another 37 minutes with caffeinated beverages, and I appreciate that. Let me scroll down. Let me start where the questions actually started. Sorry, guys. It's been a minute, and I forgot to use my software here. Okay. From 13 minutes ago. All right. Charles Taft says, John, what movie was better, original Jaws or the original Star Wars? I'm more of a Star Wars guy. I like Jaws. I just think Star Wars has so much more real watchability. Sharks terrify me, though. That's the reason I'm afraid to go in a swimming pool sometimes. I'm afraid there's going to be a shark in there. And that's why I don't go on airplanes. I'm afraid I'm going to be sucked out. What movie is that from? The next one, Willie Plies says, best Spider-Man love interest, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, or Felicia Hardy. I've always been a big Black Cat fan. Yeah, I've never been a huge reader of the Spider-Man comic books or Black Cat. I mean, I know who Black Cat is, in a way, sort of like the Catwoman for Spider-Man's universe. I don't know. I always go with like Mary Jane, but I thought she got a little played out. Kind of like we've seen her too many times in an origin story with Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy, it really, I mean, what's the difference really? It's just a love interest. I don't know if there was actually a unique take. If I had to pick one for like the next Spider-Man movie, if they were going to do it, maybe Felicia Hardy. I'd go that route or something we haven't seen 800 times. George says, John, how do you track what movies you watch? Letterboxd, IMDb, everything else, not at all. I just remember them in my brain. Sometimes I forget. There's a lot of movies I watch throughout the week, just random movies, besides just the brand new releases. And the next day, I forgot I watched that movie, which is why I need to bring back the series 5 Flicks, where I talk about 5 movies I watched that week. That helps me remember. Really, half the time, just having YouTube videos from the past, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that movie and talked about it. And I have no urge to ever rewatch it again. And that's a weird thing nowadays. It seems like a lot of films, like there's movies that come out. I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. That was okay. And then I never have the urge to rewatch it again. It's weird. I feel like rewatchability is lacking in films nowadays. Not to say there's not good movies, but there's just something about them I don't want to rewatch over and over again. I'd like to pinpoint that. Sounds like it would be a good YouTube video essay or something. Where am I at? Okay, I don't know where I'm at right now. Airstrike says, got you on at the gym. I think that was the typo you were talking about earlier. I think you're going to the gym now. You inspired me back in 2016 with your workout vlogs. P.S. Spider-Man looks a lot like Spider-Man looks like a lot of sissy D Dunpoo. I think it looks good. But good job on the gym, man. Just good luck. Stay motivated. I've been trying to get back into it myself. I go like 3 days a week, maybe 4 sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit frisky. But man, just get that pre-workout. You got to get addicted to it. You got to learn to love it. Love the pain, love the pump, and then hate leg day. That's my motto. The next one comes from Night King 01. Who has been a member for 3 months. Yay, thanks, man. John, have you seen the Spider-Man Brazilian trailer where the lizard gets hit by nothing? So yeah, Spider-Man's were edited out. Yes, I did talk about that already. Yeah, I did see that, and clearly things were edited out, but thank you. We don't need to visually see the other Spider-Mans in the movie. We don't need it. We don't need to see that in the trailer. When it comes to the movie, yes. Yes, give me that fan service. Just blow that web all over me. A Spider-Man bukkake. Yes, please. I'll take 5. Sorry. It's been, like I said, it's been a while. Feeling a little bit frisky today. Carter Lovejoy says, imagine in the next one we get 1970s Spider-Man and Japanese Spider-Man. Could it be a possibility? I hope so. Here's what I'm really hoping for in the new Spider-Man movie. Do you guys know that meme? You always see like 3 Spider-Mans standing around pointing at each other. Put that in the movie. If they do not do that, that is a failed opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Put that meme into live action in the movie. I want to see it. Also, when it comes to the trailer, because I don't have any notes, I'm making this up as I go. I did like how Doc Ock, Alfred Molina, I liked that they kind of showcased a little more about his character in this movie. And I like that he realizes he's fighting the wrong Spider-Man. You're not Parker. And then it almost looks like he sort of like teams up with the Peter Parker in this universe. Why did I just forget the actor's name? But either way, it looks like he comes to the realization like, okay, I'm in the wrong universe. I need to team up with Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man to get back to my universe. And it looks like he's almost using his scientific abilities to help them formulate a way to get back. That's almost what it looked like to me. So in a weird way, he kind of like suppresses just being a bad guy, doing bad things for the sake of being a villain. And he's like, okay, I need to team up with these hipsters to get back to my universe. So that could be an interesting dynamic, which I like. I like that he's not just going to be generic Doc Ock who wants to punch things. So that looks like it could be interesting. You guys are killing. I'm going as quickly as I can. Gosh, you guys are killing it with these questions. Okay, it's going to be a long live show, it looks like. So hang on tight and grab something salty to eat. Gary Brooks says, hey, John, I can't wait for Spider-Man No Way Home. What about you? Absolutely, man. That's what we're talking about. I'd say it's my most anticipated movie. Maybe over there. I think it looks like a movie I can't wait to like watch in the theater, buy on 4K when it does come out, and then like eat it with some popcorn at home. You know what I mean? Like it looks like it could be that rewatchable movie that you kind of want to turn your brain off and watch some fun stuff happen. That's sort of what Infinity War and Endgame were to me for the last couple of years. So I like the way it looks. I do. That new trailer gave it that epic tone I was hoping it would have. So yeah, can't wait. Legion X 420 says, I love your channel. I too am also a movie lover. Keep it up, John. I think is your name. You love my channel so much you didn't know my name, but I'll take it either way. You can call me John. You can call me the Flick Pick, but whatever you do, just don't call me late for dinner. Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you for that. Palavith has become a member. Thanks, Palavith. And by the way, YouTube members and Patreon supporters, if you have joined the podcast perk, we just put out a brand new 2-hour podcast episode a few days ago where I talk extensively about the Rocky IV Stallone cut, which I really did enjoy. We talked about the film Pig starring Nicolas Cage. I finally did get around to seeing that. And we talk about a whole bunch of other things. And then on the podcast, we do exclusively for Patreon and YouTube members, we take questions there as well, where we have a discussion about each and every single question, and we dive into the questions as long as we possibly can sometimes. So there's like 80 questions on that new podcast. So if you missed it, go check it out right now. All right, let's keep going. A DCI stuff says, would be able to share your top 3 favorite films. I might have a top 25 movies of all time video coming to update my old one from over 10 years ago. But a few of my top favorite films of all time, you know what? I'm not going to give that away. I'm not going to give it away. I think you guys know Nightcrawler is probably in there, but that's the only one I'm going to give you. All right. Tyler Vaughn, thanks for the super chat. No question. Joshua Garrison says, did you get any Black Friday Blu-rays? No, I did not. So I guess Walmart's doing something weird. And what they're doing right now is, I guess every Friday leading up to Black Friday, they have different deals that go on sale. Well, I guess last week were the movies. I didn't know that. No one told me. I'm a little bit upset about it because now I have to go out amongst the unwashed masses on actual Black Friday and buy these optical discs. That made me feel better about who I am and what I'm doing in life. But with all that said, I did go to Walmart tonight. I did shoot a quick video in there, which I will post immediately following this live show. It's just my quick thoughts on the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. Saw it tonight. I liked it. So yeah, I do want to buy some Black Friday movies. I will have a Black Friday video, but it looks like I'm going to have to wait till Black Friday to actually do that. Legion X420. Lizard got his fade run by Miles in invisible form. Yeah, Miles Morales. If they don't at least introduce him in the new Spider-Man film, that seems like a wasted opportunity not to have him and to set him up for future installments, because I think you could do so much with that character, especially like if he doesn't get his own franchise of movies. Like, what a potentially great series that could be on like Disney Plus or whatever Sony is going to allow Disney to do. But that could be such a great series if you had the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man in his own series. I think that would be pretty cool. Claudia Rogajon says, Lizard's also jumping at a distance below Tom. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The geography and the logistics of all the villains jumping, and then you have Tom Holland Spider-Man right in the middle up here. It doesn't make a lot of sense unless there's other I'm going to call them Spider-Men in that same scene, which, come on. The next one comes from Airstrike. Spending $5. Oh, so I caught up with the questions here. Good. All right. No, I didn't catch up. I caught up with the original. Okay. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional, guys. Anesium Fun says, at what point do we just acknowledge... Oh, I answered that already. Okay. Jalen Martin says, how'd you make your theme song? The theme song for which channel? Which theme song? So I actually pay and subscribe to this service called Epidemic Sound, where you pay for royalty-free music and then you get the license to use it. So for my main channel, I use a clip from one song on there and like manipulated it ever so slightly. The other theme songs for this channel, I don't remember where I got them. I think I actually took part of a song, then I took like a sound effect, then I took like another sound effect and like blended it all together to make the theme song for my John Flickinger channel, if I remember correctly. Gary Brooks says, hey John, one of the theories I just had was that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is Uncle Ben of Tom Holland and he gives him advice. Okay. I could. Well, I feel like Toby's still a little bit too young to be Uncle Ben. I still feel like he's a little bit too young, and how would that work? I get like maybe in some weird universe you could have like the original Uncle Ben looking like a Tobey Maguire, and then Marissa Tomei, this could have been like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, would have matched his age. And then maybe he could have been Uncle Ben, but like an Uncle Ben without Spider-Man powers, but he just looked like Tobey Maguire. But I don't know. That seems a little bit odd to me. It seems unnecessary. But interesting theory, nevertheless. Night King 01. I hope Sandman isn't just a cloud of dust the entire movie. Also, there is a scene where he is disembodied Spider-Man is holding his mask. Where he's disembodied and Spider-Man is holding his mask. Okay. What scene was that? Why do I not remember that? Yeah, I feel like some of these villains are going to have to take like a back seat story-wise. Like, for example, I almost feel like Sandman could come at the very end, the climax of the movie, and he could just show up as a big sand cloud for the majority of it. Just say, okay, Sandman was in the movie. Do we need like 25 minutes dedicated to Sandman in the movie? I don't know. I was never a big fan of his character. I was not a big fan of his character in Spider-Man 3. I actually thought he was sort of an anticlimactic villain of sorts. I'm just hoping we get Topher Grace's Venom pops up at one point. That's all. And his eyebrows still taped up like this. My spider senses are tingling, if you know what I mean. And then he just gets like decapitated by something. Or no, Tom Hardy's Venom shows up and just rips his fucking head off and eats it. That right there is $1 million idea. That should be the after credit scene. Done. I should just make a video saying that's the after credit scene. I'm sure like 3 people would believe me. All right. The next one comes from Anesium Fun, or Aneurysm Fun. Sorry, I can't read. Who wins? John Rambo versus Frank Castle. Oh, man, I'm going to go with some Frank Castle on that. It depends. If that fight takes place out in the jungle, I might give it to John Rambo. But if it takes place in like a city environment, I'm going to give it to Frank Castle, who is Punisher. In a role that consists of Freddy versus Jason and Alien versus Predator, someone should give us this bloodbath. If only one studio could get all of their rights together to make any logical sense out of that, I think it would make money. But we couldn't even get a Freddy versus Jason movie right. Come on. We can't even get an Alien versus Predator movie right. All right. Claudia Rogajon says, you know what never made sense to me, Spider-Man's webs can reach buildings almost instantly, but couldn't reach Gwen Stacy in Amazing Spider-Man 2 fast enough. Or maybe he just let her die because he was getting tired of her bullshit. You ever think about that? I like when his web was shooting down, though, at Gwen Stacy, and a little hand reached out. I was like, oh, that's so nasty. I don't know why that disgusted me. But he did catch her. She just kind of hit her head at the bottom of that. But yeah, good point. Also, another interesting thing, and they better make a joke out of this. Or I'll be upset. If all 3 Spider-Man show up in this film, you have Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, and you have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I hope they look over at Tobey when he's shooting his webs and go, oh, you didn't have to make a device for those. And he just goes, it's natural. You know, something like that would be cool. I would just like a reference to that. James Dozier says, hey, John, what's going on? Not much, man. Just doing a live show, talking to you guys, drinking a caffeinated beverage, having a good time with all 316 of you watching right now. So big thanks to you guys for watching. Yeah, this is, we haven't done a live show. When was the last one? like 2.5 weeks ago? Yeah, I just took a little break. I don't know. Just needed a little break, a little reboot. Because I told you guys this, and I'll tell you every time, I don't do these unless I truly want to do these. I got to be hyped up, energetic, and ready to go. And plus, I had some personal things going on in life, a little bit of family drama. You guys know how that goes. But it seems like everything's good to go now. Julium Labelle, I think I completely mispronounced that, but here it goes. Have you ever tried 4DX? If so, is it worth it? Yes, I have, and if you guys want to actually see me go to a movie theater for 4DX, are we talking about 4DX? Are we talking about the motion chairs, or are you talking about the extended projection on the walls of the theater? Because I know there's 4D, and and they also called 4D with the motion chairs. So anyway, I actually have, if you watch my Birds of Prey video, I did watch that no, was that called ScreenX? It's where they extend the projection of the screen on the sides of the wall and manipulate it so it looks a little bit more immersive. But watch my Birds of Prey video. I did actually a sponsorship for that, and I do a thing in the theater. As far as the 4D with the motion chairs, if you watch my Doctor Strange video from like 5 years ago, I actually saw that movie in that format and did a video going to the theater as well. So if you guys want to check that out, yeah, I like it. I think it's got to be the right movie. It's got to be the perfect movie for that occasion. I actually have a home 4D chair right here that actually moves to the motion of movies. So I might have a video about that at some point. But yeah, I've tried it. Josh Coffey says, Flickpick, one of my favorite YouTubers, UMVP. I'll take it, man. Thanks, Josh. And thanks for being a member for 7 months, you glorious, beautiful man, you. Mike Peters says, do you think Disney even tried with that Home Alone remake, or did they always know it would be a piece of shit? I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why they made it. And if you're going to make Home Alone, maybe just try. Like, I get that they were kind of banking on name recognition and they own the rights to it. And they're like, oh, we can throw this on Disney Plus for the holidays. But why waste millions of dollars and people's time with such a piece of garbage film? No one wanted to see that. Any young kid who hasn't seen Home Alone, well, just show him the original Home Alone movies. I'm sure he will enjoy them more than this bloated, bland piece of garbage movie with... I didn't watch it. First, let me say that. First, let me preface with this. I did not see the film, but I can guarantee that I would hate the shit out of that movie. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a live show watching the movie with you guys and actually watch it on a live stream with you guys watching it with me and eating some popcorn. So if I run out of ideas between now and early December, we could still make that happen. If you guys want to see that happen, let me know in the comments. Josh says, the prodigal son has returned. Thank you. Thank you for that. And by the way, YouTube members, at the end of the live show, I will dedicate a whole bunch of time to you guys. If you guys want to chime in and say whatever you want, I'll go through all your stuff too. But at the very end of the chat, so I can dedicate the time. James Dozier says, have you seen a movie, Enemy of the State from 1998? Yeah, starring Will Smith. I did see that once. It kind of was like an instantly forgettable movie. It also had Gene Hackman in it about the government tracking him down and surveillance. And if only they waited like 10 years to make that movie, they would have been like, oh no, if the government wants to track us, they don't need all these satellites and people driving around in SUVs with tinted windows. You just need a smartphone. And now we all have GPS tracking devices in our pocket. Yay. So yeah, I have seen Enemy of the State. DCI Stuff has become a member. Thanks, man. Yay. Thanks for that. Rick LP says, Chucky series is awesome. Have you seen it? I have not seen the Chucky series. I was never a big hardcore Child's Play fan. Like, I like the first movie. Let's play Hide the Soul. Great game. Used to play it as a child. But I don't know. I don't know if I want that as a series. Like, I don't know if I need it as a series, though I think it could be intriguing. I just have not got around to checking it out yet. Sano says, Red Notice costs more than Dune. China wins. Yeah, Red Notice, I have some issues with Red Notice. Holy shit. $200 million, where I think at least $100 million of the budget went to the actors of the movie with Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot. But man, the Red Notice was essentially a lot of borrowed ideas from other films that already exist that are better movies by every way possible. So it borrows some of those concepts, like 3 or 4 of them, and crams them all into an instantly forgettable, bland movie that looks so digital and dull it makes you tired. And now, keep in mind, this was written and directed by the guy who made Skyscraper, the poor man's version of Die Hard starring The Rock. And, I'm at a point where I'm sort of tired, and don't get me wrong, I love me some Ryan Reynolds, I love me some Rock, you know, but they are just playing themselves in every movie that they're in. It's just like, here's Ryan Reynolds and The Rock in a movie, and it almost looks like they're just standing there in front of a green screen at times, like just being themselves. I don't know. There was like one really terrible scene where they're in an arena and there's like a bull running after them, and it just looks so awful. Like, it looks like a green screen scene that was shot in my garage. Just like there's way too much hair lighting. It just looks bad. And I was like, this cost $200 million. They wasted $200 million so they could have the #1 trending movie for a week on Netflix, and no one's going to talk about this in a week. That's what they did. That baffles my brain. Imagine if they just took their time and made something better. But anyway, that's Netflix. And those are my thoughts on Red Notice. See, that's why I don't have to do all these reviews. I can just get this shit out right here in the live show. And quicker, too. It's way quicker. No Ghostbusters to review? The movie just came out today, man. I just saw it 3 hours ago. What do you want from me? Now, if I were getting press screenings 5 days ago, yeah, I could probably get it out quicker. But I will do it. I do have a reaction video of Ghostbusters coming tonight, right after this video. So give me like an hour after this, and I'll put up my Ghostbusters first reaction. All right, next one. Kind of forgot how therapeutic this was. I missed it. Josh Coffey says, have you seen the tester poster for the new Predator prequel, Prey? The Predator versus Native American Indian warrior in the 19th century. Bring it on. What a missed opportunity. So first of all, I've been saying this for a while. I would more or less say The Rock is sort of like the modern day Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. So if you're going to do a prequel movie where the Predators came at a different time period, an earlier time period, an ancient time period, why not have like The Rock be that guy they go up against, the best warrior? He's the Scorpion King. Come on. Like, they could have said it in, I don't know, The Rock could play almost any like foreign warrior. He could play an Egyptian warrior. He could play a South American warrior. I mean, he has the right look to cover so many bases. I mean, I don't know about Native American per se, but to me, that was sort of a missed opportunity right there. But nevertheless, I have not seen the poster, though. Bryce's Super Awesome Adventure Channel sounds like a Super Awesome Adventure Channel, Bryce. What Spider-Man got the worst beating in their movies? I think Tobey did, especially against Green Goblin. But also, can you shout out my YouTube channel? So check out Bryce's YouTube channel. It's called Bryce's Real Reviews. Thanks, John. Stay frisky. So yeah, Bryce's Real, REEL Reviews. Check them out. Yeah, man, I'll check out your... If you send me a link on a DM or tweet me a link to your channel, I'll check it out later tonight too, man. And thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. I would say Tobey probably, off the top of my head, got his ass beat pretty good, especially in that first Spider-Man movie, which is why I still hold on to it being one of the better Spider-Man movies, because that ending scene where you have Green Goblin and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and he's just getting the shit beat out of him. His suit's tattered and torn. He has blood. And that ending sequence, it's so brutally done. I love it. Like, you could feel the punches. It didn't just look like glossy CGI blobs blowing up in the sky, blah, 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 like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And that scene where the glider impales Goblin, don't tell Harry, that was awesome. So yeah, I would definitely go with that first Spider-Man ending fight for sure. Colin Matskos? Colin Matskos. Do you think No Way Home will be overstuffed? What is the runtime of No Way Home? Probably like 2 hours, 20 minutes. I would hope it is. I hope it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. If the Eternals can be 2.5 hours, Spider-Man No Way Home better be 3.5 hours. Will it be overstuffed? So typically when it comes to superhero movies, when you have 2 or more villains, it starts getting bloated. But for this movie, the way the story lines up, it lends itself to do that, because that is the concept of the movie. So no, I think if they handle it right, because we don't need backstories in all these villains. We've already gotten those backstories. We've seen them. They're there. So we don't need to take a lot of time doing that. Essentially, they just need to show up and the shit goes down. The action is instantaneously happening. We don't need all this fluff and filler, you know? So I think that's where they're going to save a lot of time, because you've already seen Doc Ock. You already know Sandman. You already know Electro. You know what happened, right? So I don't think it'll be overstuffed. I have faith it'll be handled very well. Z White says, thoughts on the Green Knight? I bought the 4K for $10. Not a bad deal. I have the Green Knight on 4K as well on a big pile of movies sitting behind the camera. I have not watched it yet. I'm actually a friend and I who has a home theater. We're going to like hang out, watch it. I just have not got around to it. I think it's our next movie on the list because last week we watched Stallone or Rocky 4, the Stallone cut. I watched Pig the week before that, so that's the next movie on my list of movies to check out that I haven't. James Dozier says, thoughts on the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, one of the greatest remakes ever. When he's puking up food, it disgusts me utterly. I think it's one of the most disgusting movies ever. And that's the movie that made me realize if a fly lands on your food, it pukes on it and then sucks it back up. And that's why I'm really weird about flies in my house. And if I go to Subway and there's a fly by the food flying around, I just assume it landed on everything and there's fly puke on everything. And then I turn around and leave. So yeah, I enjoy The Fly. I hope I somehow answered your question right there. All right. Airstrike says, John unusually has a cool background with movies and props and cool toys. Thought he had just a messy room with dirty laundry. It's like he just woke up, looked around, and said F it and gave up. What are we talking about? John usually has this is a cool background. You don't like my background? This is like real life, man. This is where I do the live streams. No, my background where I do like this is a live stream. Now, when I do my sit down film reviews, I sit over here in this chair and I have the backgrounds over there, man. But my PC, my live setup here, and all the lights and microphones are on my desk. So I think that's a real that's a anything else besides this would be disingenuous. That's a real background. There's depth. It looks lived in. It's a little messy. Yes, it's messy. I have a lot of shit over here. You know, I'm getting ready to change a lot of things. But I like that. That's a real... I can go lay on that couch right now and yell at you if I want to. I can't do that over there. Come on. Carter Lovejoy says, are you planning on getting any of the Criterion 4Ks? This month's Mulholland Drive, Citizen Kane, Menace to Society, and Uncut Gems debut on Criterion 4K. I don't know if Uncut Gems is a necessary movie I'd want on 4K to rewatch over and over again. I think I own the Blu-ray. Maybe I own the 4K of Uncut Gems, so I don't need the Criterion. I actually own Menace to Society. Do I own that on Blu-ray or DVD? I've always really enjoyed Menace to Society. I don't know if I'd buy any of those on Criterion. Maybe, I don't know, but I am glad Criterion is putting out 4K releases, so that does entice me to buy some movies on Criterion again. But I don't know if any of those would be my first day pickups. Maybe at a really good price. Michael Parton says, Tom Holland should play Spider-Man till he's 40. Well, the way Tom Holland looks, I think he could get away with playing Spider-Man until he's 45, yes, and still look like he's 25 years old. But with all that said, there's a few things happening right now between Sony and Marvel. Now, clearly Sony has some ideas going forward with their own version of the Spider-Verse of things, especially the villainous side of things with Venom and Morbius. And do I care about those things? No, not really. But I think Sony sort of wants their Spider-Man back. But also, I don't know. I almost feel like this was the last Spider-Man movie for a while with Marvel, and they sort of wanted to blow their load, get it all out, and if worst case they had to give Spider-Man back to Sony, they could do it, because right now they open up the multiverse to have 15 different versions of Spider-Man, and anything that can happen would make sense going in the future. So, did I even answer your question? Oh, Tom Holland, yeah, he looks young. Michael Barton says, what do you think about Topher Grace? Not much. I liked him in that 70s show, but I've never really been a big fan of his acting. Eternal should have been a D+ series. Oh yeah, Disney. Yeah, Eternals all day lent itself to be the perfect Disney Plus series because there's a lot of things that it felt like they were missing, and it almost could have been like the superhero version of Game of Thrones on Disney Plus. Like I felt like it could have done that. It could have went there. But I wasn't a big fan of the movie, but I definitely think it would have made a better series. Night King 01 says, it's obvious Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina are going to take up most of the screen time. Also, most of the villains' scenes are at the end, it looks like. Yeah, I would say a lot of the B villains are going to show up right at the end, and we're going to keep the proven ones that everyone really enjoys, like Osborn and Doc Ock, and they'll probably have the most character in the film, and then the rest just show up at the end for some fan service, and that's okay, because like I said, I don't need 45 minutes of Sandman. I don't need 25 minutes of Jamie Foxx's Electro. I don't think we need those things. And that's fine. Caleb Tilbrook says, favorite movie from 1985? I'm trying to think of an 85 movie. Is this 85? Hang on. Is Breakfast Club 85 or 84? I feel like it's 84. Or was Ferris Bueller's Day Off 86? Let's see. Oh, Back to the Future 1980. Boom. Done. Back to the Future 85 is my favorite movie. Rocky 4 also came out in 85, yeah. Oh, Breakfast Club was 85. Okay. Yeah, so 80... Dude, why is it 85 was a glory... Like, I would give anything to relive 1985 right here. 1985, like, we haven't had this many good movies come out ever in 1 year. Okay, 1985, you had Back to the Future. Yes, please. You had The Goonies. Okay. You had Rocky 4. Good. The Breakfast Club. You had Clue. Weird Science. Legend. Fright Night. A View to Kill. Probably one of my least favorite James Bond movies. Cocoon. Witness. Teen Wolf. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. That has some weird undertones in it. Man, just banger after banger in 1985. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? Holy shit. I couldn't imagine being a movie fan or a kid in 1985. Like, look at every single movie I just named was a true classic. They just don't make them like they used to. I'll say it again. All right, thanks to all 360 of you guys watching right now. Thank you guys so much. And let's just keep going with the questions here. Kayla, no, I answered that. BTS says, is the real reason you and Amber broke up because she caught you and Stuckman naked oil wrestling, not judging? And I'm not saying we never did that. And we did it in the privacy of our own home on a tarp in the basement. But no, I think she would have been completely fine with that. And thank you for the generous super. You gave me a super chat for me to read that. I love it, man. Thank you. Jalen Martin says, thoughts on 21 and 22 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street was a pleasant surprise. It was actually a funny comedy movie, and it made me look at Channing Tatum a different way. And I know that's coming off that last question makes it sound weirder. But no, I was like, wow, Channing Tatum's a funny dude. Okay, his likability instantly went up. And if you notice, after 21 Jump Street, he got way more roles because I think he showed his he showed that he could be diverse and funny, which I don't think a lot of people knew he could do. But 22 Jump Street, I was like, it was kind of a bad sequel in my opinion. I definitely prefer the first one. You know I have movie reviews for these, right? If you want to hear me talk about each one of these movies for like 6 minutes each, check those out. Claudia Rojon says, Red Notice felt like a poor man's National Treasure. Also, the CGI is noticeably bad, like you said. This is the same guy who wrote and directed Dodgeball. How? Well, Dodgeball was like a simplistic comedy movie, right? But when you go big, $200 million epic action CGI movies, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Yeah, for me, Red Notice, it did feel like National Treasure. It felt like A Poor Man's True Lies. And then it felt like a cheap version of like The Mummy at one point. But none of these ideas were ever really like, it's like, oh, here's like 5 minutes of this idea, but let's not even go further with it. It just felt like they could never devote the time to any one of the concepts they were presenting in the movie. And when you go back and rewatch it, it's like not a lot happens in that movie. They kind of just randomly show up at a few places and then the movie's over. You're like, oh. James Dozier says, did you know the movies like Con Air, The Rock, and Armageddon were made and released by Disney? Wasn't it released under their other studio where they could get away with releasing movies that might disrupt the Disney brand? Well, didn't Jerry Bruckheimer produce a lot of those movies too? He produced the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, so that would make sense. I thought I guess that makes sense. Wasn't The Rock released by Paramount? Or am I making that up? But either way, I also remember, and that does make sense because I remember at one point, and I could be wrong, but as a kid, I remember Armageddon came out, and I swear Disney had like a special Armageddon attraction where they made like part of the environment look like you were on the asteroid or something like that. I feel like that happened at Disney. Joseph Knowles says, hey, John, have you watched Secret Window? It's been a while, but I have seen it, yeah. I vaguely remember it. Yeah, I've seen Secret Window. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I haven't seen it in a long time, so don't ask me for my in-depth thoughts. Michael Barton says, the Netflix live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop is more than unnecessary, especially since there is no Edward. I don't know much about Cowboy Bebop. I've seen some scenes. I've seen some like action shootout scenes, and it looks cool, the animated version of it. I don't know much about it, so I will reserve my judgment on the comparison. And maybe the trailer looked kind of cool. It had like a 1970s like vibe to it. I thought the trailer on Netflix looked cool, the live action trailer, but yeah, Touchstone released it. Okay. Well, I mean, Disney's always been paranoid about releasing anything that could disrupt their brand. I remember the original Nightmare Before Christmas when that came out. Disney was not putting their name all over that. They were just like unless you looked into it, you didn't know it was a Disney movie. Like, I think that was released under the banner of Touchstone or something like that. And then it wasn't until it became a hit, a theatrical hit, that Disney later started putting their name on top of it. Oh, Disney. Matthew Nunez says, Casino Royale, GoldenEye, License to Kill, No Time to Die, something, For Your Eyes Only, World Is Not Enough, Skyfall, Of You to Kill. Oh, you gave me your ranking of all the James Bond flicks. License to Kill, No Time to Die. You know, I actually would almost agree with you for the most part there. Oh, Her Majesty's Secret Service was number 5. It took me a second there to figure out the abbreviation. You know, I would definitely agree with your top 3 or 4 there. Yeah, Casino Royale has by far always been the best James Bond flick. GoldenEye, I think, is like maybe the second best. License to Kill, I always really enjoyed, and it's been a while since I revisited it, but I'd like to. And I actually would put No Time to Die in there. I think since Casino Royale, I would say No Time to Die is my favorite James Bond movie. And I know a lot of people might disagree with that and say Skyfall, but I would honestly lean towards No Time to Die. Thomas Matthews says, most anticipated, Damien Chazelle's Babylon, Ari Aster's Disappointment, beloved of Robert Eggers' The Northman. For me, it's The Northman. Dude, I don't know much about The Northman. Damien Chazelle's coming out with Babylon. I don't know much about about Babylon either. Damien Chazelle, who directed Whiplash, which I really loved, then he directed First Man, and it was like, yeah. I mean, I don't know much about either of those you mentioned. I feel like I know. Did I see The Northman? Did they have a trailer for that, or am I crazy right now? I don't know. I haven't really caught up in either. I haven't caught up in a lot of the movies you just mentioned. So, Josh Coffey says, dude, when you move into a new place, can you do a house tour? I am currently living in my parents' basement, so I need inspiration. Yeah, I actually, and I know I move a lot. I do. I'm actually moving in a few weeks, but only like 3 minutes away from where I am now. Logistically speaking, I was never going to stay where I am now, but it's okay. I'm only moving 3 minutes away. Calm down. Calm down. Yeah, I'll do a tour when I get everything set up over there. And don't feel bad, man. I lived in my parents' basement until I was like 24. Don't feel bad. It's okay. But I will do a house tour for you, man. Mason Arnold says, my little niece has requested that I take her to see Clifford the Big Red Dog this weekend, and I'm dreading the experience. I'd much rather take her to see Ghostbusters. Then take her to see Ghostbusters and just tell her it's the Clifford movie. She won't know any better. Yeah, man. Come on. This is a key moment. This is what you could call the critical moment in your niece's life. She has two directions she can go. She can either start her path off of watching terrible, bloated, junk Hollywood trash, or you can take her to see quality cinema. Take her to see quality cinema. Or just have her stay at home and watch like Beethoven movies or something. I'm sure she's never seen those. That's a big dog. Or have her watch Cujo. That's another big dog. So what if he eats people? Who cares? He's a dog. And thanks for the question, Mason. Nike01 says, so how was Rocky 4, Rocky versus Drago? Oh, I loved it. Now, I remember reading that Stallone added 40 additional minutes of footage into Rocky versus Drago, and he may have. But he also got rid of 40 minutes of footage that was already in the previous movie. So you still have an hour and a half movie. There's not a lot of extra runtime here. It's like the same runtime of the original, but just with better stuff that makes you care more about the story and streamlines it. So like you actually care about Apollo dying. His motivation's a little bit more clear. The fight at the end is more intense because they don't cut away from it as often. And speaking of Rocky, yeah, I'll know. You know, you're gonna go watch my review of it. I'll know. Hey, come here. Hey. So anyway, I have a Drago figure. Oh, hang on, I do. I must watch you. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it. Dan5271 says, John Live is a banger. Sup, John? Thanks, man. I had to read that twice to understand it. I don't know why, but thanks, Dan5271, for the super chat there, man. Yeah, speaking of bangers, I'm going to take a little sip of this one right here. Okay. Thanks for the question, man. Or actually, thanks for the statement. More like it. Michael Joy says, happy holidays, John. I'm so excited for the new Spider-Man No Way Home. Maguire and Andrew are definitely there, just hidden. Absolutely. A blind man could see such a thing. And there's so many speculation videos out on this trailer, and I mean, there is more interest in Spider-Man No Way Home than there has ever been in anything in the rest of humanity. It's almost disgusting in a way. I'm just like, no one cares about anything, just Spider-Man. There could be a fucking asteroid about to hit Earth in 24 minutes, and we would still be talking about the new Spider-Man trailer. That's crazy. So anyway, and you know what? I'd still be talking about it too. Let's go to the next one here. Michael Barton says, do you have any stuffed animals? I have some stuffed bodies in the basement. Next question. Actually, do I have a stuffed animal? I don't think I do. I have a Batman, but he's not stuffed. But if I had it my way, he would be. Let's keep going. I'm disgusting. The next question comes from Jalen Martin. Says, thoughts on Neighbors 2? I have a review for Neighbors 2. Check it out on YouTube. It was okay. Not that good. Sort of forgettable, but it was okay. Actually, the more I watch it, the less I like it. James Dosher says, name your favorite part from Pulp Fiction. I think if you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, a lot of you might know the answer to this question. And okay, as a kid, the scene in the pawn shop basement with the gimp always terrified me. That terrified me always. But I really enjoy every scene with Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, Jules and cruising around talking. A Royale with cheese. I just their conversations, their casual conversations when they're on the way to actually pull off a hit or whatever they're doing. That's what I love. So any scene with Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta in it are some of my favorite scenes. I just like movies or shows where two dudes are talking and it's so casual and they have so much charisma, where you're hanging on to every word they're saying. No matter what the topic is, it's just so intriguing to me. And in one weird way, I almost feel like that was like, in a weird way, I think that was like almost my motivation for like doing flick trips. And I'm like, I can drive around, talk about nothing, and try to make it entertaining. And with all that said, may I have a drink of your tasty beverage? Yeah, Jules and Vincent Vega, man. Give me a prequel series about just those two guys. All right. Nikolai Radovijevic. Nikolai Radovijevic. All right. It's 4 a.m. in London right now. On my way to see The Crown set to be a Running Man. I needed this live stream. Thank you. Stay golden, Johnny boy. Well, thank you, man. On your way to The Crown set to be a Running Man? That's cool. That sounds like a cool gig. Good luck with that, man. Speaking of staying golden, Pony Boy, I actually rewatched The Outsiders the other day on HBO Max. An early 80s movie with like Matt Dillon and Patrick Swayze. If you haven't seen The Outsiders, I think most people watching it today would be like, I don't really like. I've always enjoyed it so much. I don't know why. Something about that movie like relaxes me. The Outsiders. Would you be a Soch or a greaser? I am not sure. Joseph Knowles says, do you like The Faculty and Kick-Ass? I love Kick-Ass. I really do. That was one of my favorite movies of 2010. The sequel, it was kind of a letdown. But really enjoyed Kick-Ass. It has Nicolas Cage and Hit Girl, man. Come on. How could you not love it? The Faculty was also a really good movie. The Faculty came out at the end of 1998, right? Came out like in the fall of 98. I feel like it did. Anyway, I saw it in theaters. Always really enjoyed it. Josh Hartnett, like whatever happened to that guy. I thought The Faculty was always sort of like maybe underrated in a way. Like it's kind of like a fun high school horror film that not many people talk about, but it was made so well. Like it was better than it needed to be. So I've always really enjoyed it. Gaming Junkie 1723. One of my gripes on Batman Begins is Scarecrow getting defeated so easily. Agree? Okay, but you got to look at it this way, right? If you're going for the ultra grounded version of Batman, and then you have the Scarecrow who's just Dr. Crane, he's just some therapist or psychologist who has some drugs. I mean, he's not going to put up the biggest fight. You can just punch him in the face. I mean, if you don't get sprayed by his toxins, there's not much of a fight to be had. So, no, I thought he was defeated. I mean, he's like riding around on a big horse at the end of the movie. He had a plan. He wasn't the muscle. Ra's al Ghul was the muscle to carry out his plan. I thought he got defeated as easily as he should have been. What is it? Iliaz says, man, I need more Ryan Gosling movies. You and me both, sir. You know what? I could put my Drive jacket on right now and watch Drive, or at least the first 20 minutes of it before it turns into like a love story. But yeah, give me some more Ryan Gosling. I'm looking forward to his werewolf movie coming out. Bryce's Super Awesome Adventure Channel says, would you rather make a Spawn movie or Old Man Conan movie? Ooh, I think Spawn. I think you can make a really cool Spawn movie. Though Spawn's not one of my favorite characters by a long shot, but that 95 Spawn movie was a pile of ass. I will say that. That was a pile of ass, but when I saw it in theaters, I thought it was really cool. I'm going to keep it real with you. I remember seeing it in theaters. I thought John Leguizamo? Why do I feel like I'm saying his name wrong? John Leguizamo. Why could I not remember how to say his name? Anyway, I thought he did really good as the clown in that movie. Like the prosthetics on the clown were great, and then you get he turns into the regulator? Is it called the regulator or the whatever that giant beast he turns into? Had some of the worst CGI of all time because they ran out of money during the movie. But yeah, I think a new Spawn movie could be cool, but maybe Old Man Conan sounds a little cooler to me. Who wins in a fight, Optimus Prime or the Terminator? I'm gonna throw a wild card in there. Throw a RoboCop in there. Probably Optimus Prime. He's 25 feet tall. Mike Spoon says, "No dad, save yourself." No dad, save yourself. Do you know what movie that's from? Let me know in the comment section. Go, Dad, save yourself. John, can you please recite the scene from... Oh, you gave it away. From Batman Returns, I Need It, Love You, Man. Well, I sort of just did right there. Remind me to take it out on what's his self, or what's her name. Claudio Rogajohns has been a member for 3 months. Thank you, Claudio. Recently watched Shang-Chi Noon. Still a fun movie. Also watched The Transporter. I forgot what it was like to see action, good fight scenes in both. I hope you enjoyed those, man. So you watched Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi Noon? Okay. I watched... my brain is melting right now. I watched something the other day. It was an older movie, and I was like, I forgot how well the action sequences were done. Well, I rewatched I watched some of the fight scenes in the Daredevil series on Netflix, the hallway fight scene where he fights the biker gang, and I forgot how well that was done and choreographed, and like it was all practical and it didn't feel bloated. I was like, we need more of that in Hollywood. Why can't we have more like long one-take shots like that? That's what I like to see more of. Stop cutting everything. Matthew Nunez says, what do you think of Henry Golding as the new Bond? Henry Golding? Let me get a good look at this guy. I mean, I don't know, man. He's from Malaysia. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think that's... I don't know. I'd rather have Henry Cavill as a new Bond. But if like you wanted to put Henry Golding in there as like another spy or something, like 006 or something, that could be cool. Brett Altop says Little Giants, Big Green, or Rookie of the Year. I'm definitely gonna go with Little Giants in there simply because of Icebox. I think that was the best movie of all three of those you mentioned. Big Green kind of felt cheap and starred the Big Bambino from The Sandlot. Rookie of the Year I always really did enjoy. I think like cinematically speaking, it was like overall like the best real movie. Like it was the least hokey of the movies, even though you had a kid with a broken arm who could join the major leagues because he could pitch so fast. But yeah, I would definitely go with Little Giants. I haven't seen that in a long time. I remember at one point the DVD was out of print and worth a lot of money. Max Nugenbauer says, "Hey John, hope you've been good. I watched Blade 2 for the first time recently. It's really good. I don't like Blade 2 that much. Stylistically speaking, Guillermo del Toro, I didn't like the way he made that movie look. It looks a little too CG at times, and there's like yellow lights all over the place for no reason sometimes. I definitely prefer the first Blade movie. I thought it was like simple and got it right. And that opening scene in the first Blade movie in the nightclub, like that shower nightclub where it's playing the techno music and the blood just Oh, so perfect. Which really disappoints me that the new Blade movie won't be rated R. Brett Altop says, oh, I already answered this. Joe Mama says, thoughts on The Harder They Fall on Netflix. I have not seen it yet. Don't know much about it. I can't wait to check it out. That's the DiCaprio movie, right? Yeah, I want to check it out. Is it out? Did this come out and I didn't know about it? Or is it not out yet? Blade 2 rocked. Yeah, it's okay. I think the first one's a better movie. I have an unpopular opinion. Guillermo del Toro, I feel like there's some movies that work perfect for his style, and some of them I'm just like, his style sort of gets in the way for me. Josh Coffey says, Roadhouse remake with Gyllenhaal just announced. Did they actually announce that? I heard the rumor about that a few days ago. Because pain don't hurt. Yes, give me some Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. He can only elevate whatever material they put into it, as long as it's good. That could be the ultimate action movie of the year. It doesn't have to be this big, bloated $900 million movie with CG. It can just be a simple hand-to-hand fighting movie that takes place in some shitty bar somewhere, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Yes, I love the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. I love that movie. I grew up with that movie. That is my movie. I love it more than I should. And at one point, I was like, you know what? One day when I grow up, I'm going to be a bouncer at some shitty bar in the middle of nowhere. And I'm going to make like $2,000 a night. And then when you grow up, you realize that is so made up. But yeah, I hope it's a real thing. Yeaman John says, why Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't successfully cross over into movies like The Rock. His only movie I remember was the first Expendables. Well, he also did the Condemned or something like that. He has the look to be like an action guy, but I don't know. It just didn't translate well. I just think The Rock's more versatile, especially like for a Hollywood acting gig. So yeah, Stone Cold could definitely be in more movies though. I mean, I don't know why he's not. Joseph Knowles says, do you like Orange County? What did you last eat? I actually ate a spicy chicken sandwich a little bit ago. I liked Orange County. I saw it in theaters. It had the Colin Hanks' son and Jack Black. I liked it. It was an okay movie. It's like a fun comedy movie from the early 2000s. I don't think if you never watch it, you're missing much, but... Ian says, you moved out at the end of 2012 at the age of 25, not 24. Well, excuse me. Thank you for correcting me. Now I will punish myself. Never again will I make that mistake. I am sorry, Ian. Mason Arnold says, on the flip side, I showed the Batman trailer to my niece today. She had me show it to her a few times and wants to see the movie. This will be the first Batman movie in theaters. Well, man, it's about time. Fuck Clifford the Big Red Dog. Go see Batman. Watch a movie about a vigilante where his parents were shot to death in an alleyway. That's where you should take your children to see. That's what they need. Yeah, so congrats on that. Thanks, Mason, for the question, though. Bryce's Super Awesome Adventure Channel. Hook was amazing. Why can't we make a Peter Pan film good anymore? Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, the last one, what they have, the movie Pan or whatever the fuck that piece of junk was called with Hugh Jackman. It was like a musical movie. Like, so just so you guys know, the rights to Peter Pan are free. Anyone who wants to utilize them can take them and make a movie out of it. It's no longer copyrighted. So that's why you get all these crappy Peter Pan movies. But anyway, yeah, speaking of Hook, I actually might have like a quick mini review of Hook coming, but I'm going to post it on like social media. So look out, it'll be like a 1-minute review. It's for like a thing I'm doing, but anyway, Hook to me is so underrated. Like, a lot of people shit on Hook. I think it's phenomenal. I can quote Hook the rest of my life and still function in society. You rude, crude bag of pre-food chew, dude? Bangarang. Oh, so it's one of my favorite holiday movies of all time. If you don't like Hook, I don't think we could ever really be friends. I'll just keep it real with you. Ilyas says, do you think the new T2 Steelbook will be good? Probably not. I think the Steelbook looks really cool, but it's still the same transfer on 4K, which was an abomination of a transfer. They got everything wrong with that transfer. They took out the color grading is all screwed up. It's way too blue. It looks soulless. It looks flat. It's pretty much every complaint I have about modern day movies. So what they did is they took a movie from 91 and they color graded it like a modern day movie to look soulless and flat and dull and blue. And that's my biggest complaint about Rocky versus Drago, is they recolor graded that movie as well to do the exact same thing. Every movie nowadays looks like it shares the same filter from iMovie. It's like movie filter. And you put it on there, it makes it all blue. I'm like, So anyway, yeah, I think it's the same transfer in there. But Jalen Martin says, I was talking about the sequel to Neighbors. Yeah, Neighbors 2. Yes. I was too, man. I have a review for Neighbors 2. Did I miss something? I don't know. I should have a review for Neighbors 2 on YouTube. But yeah, I didn't think it was that good of a sequel. Yeaman John says, Nicolas Cage, Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp said their favorite film of all time is the 1955 James Dean film, East of Eden. Have you seen it? I have not seen East of Eden. That's interesting. I can see Johnny Depp that being his favorite film because it looks like he closely followed James Dean, his style and his looks, especially early on in his career. Claudio Rogajon says, Spawn 97 is hilariously terrible. You want to get Spawn, watch the 97 animated series Spawn from HBO, dark, violent, and effed up HBO at its finest. Yeah, I don't know if I need another Spawn movie at this point. I like the terrible first movie. I like to look at it, and I cringe at times, but I'm like, okay. At times, it's mildly entertaining. They had no money. That's the problem. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do right now is take a quick 1 to 2 minute break. I'm going to get another drink. I will come back and answer all of your questions, or as many as I humanly and possibly can. So don't go anywhere. Get those questions in now. When I come back, I'll get to the rest of the questions. And as a wise man once said, I'll be back in just a And here we go. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that break and got a popcorn refill. All right. This next one comes from Claudia Rogajon says, also, I said Shang-Chi Noon with Jackie Chan. Oh, Shang-Chi. I was thinking. And then you have Shanghai. Oh, Shanghai. I'm dumb. I can't read today, man. Shanghai Noon. Yeah, and then you had Shanghai Nights, which was the sequel, which was really bad, but it had the little kid playing Charlie Chaplin at one point with Jackie Chan. Yeah, just go watch Rumble in the Bronx if you want to watch a Jackie Chan movie. Just a 90s Kid says, hey, John, with all we've seen now from the Batman trailers, Do you now believe it has the potential to be the best one yet? I think it has. I think it has a big cow to fill. That's my play on words instead of saying shoes. Speaking of Batman, it has a big cow to fill. A cowl. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it'll be the best one yet. I think it has potential to justify existing as a new Batman reboot movie. Like, how do you top Batman Begins in the Dark Knight? That's tough to do. But what I'm hoping with the new Batman movie is like, okay, this new one's sort of like the Batman Begins. You have the origin, you have to set everything up. And then its predecessor goes even bigger and more dramatic and it just has this tone to it. And it could be like the new Dark Knight. And maybe it won't be as good, but if it tries to be good but different, I'm okay with that as well. So all I can do is tell you I'm really excited to see it, and I just hope it's a good Batman movie. Will it be the best one ever made? I don't know, but as long as it's a good Batman movie, I'll be happy. That's what I need. Hopefully it's better than Batman v Superman. All right. Joseph Knowles says, thoughts on Funny People and role models. Funny People was one of the worst theater experiences I can remember watching. Like, I thought it was going to be great, and there's like 20 minutes of entertainment in that movie, but it's like, how long is that movie? Like 2.5 hours long? And it just gets to one point where you feel like it's never going to end, and it doesn't. And they just like, I'm like, this is like so boring to get through. What was the other movie you had? Role Models is fun. Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd. I enjoyed. I like how they do like the cosplay event at the end, like the medieval cosplay thing. So yeah, Sano says thoughts, and also in Role Models, don't they work for energy drink company? I liked that for some odd reason. I was like, ooh, I'd like to do that gig. Sano says, thoughts on Hulu's Pam. Oh, thoughts on Hulu's Pam and Tommy. Have you seen the original? I think we've all seen the original. And that's the one you should just watch. Get it over with. It's like 3 or 5 minutes long. It's kind of nasty. But yeah, I'd rather just watch that. Why did they make a movie about this? Why? Anyway. Mason Arnold says, favorite episode of Sopranos, the Pine Barrens episode is a classic. Yeah, the Pine Barrens, is that where the Russian guy escapes into the forest during wintertime, and then Paulie and Christopher are like in a van eating ketchup packets? I like that. Yeah, something about that I always really enjoyed too. It was so different. If that's the one you're talking about, that was probably one of my favorite episodes that stood out as well, because it's just different. I like when you take like a series and you have one episode where the characters are stuck in a situation they're never normally stuck in. That's what I like. All right, the next one. Carter Lovejoy says, thoughts on the newly remastered versions of Grand Theft Auto trilogy. I hate Rockstar is remastering Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Like, give us Grand Theft Auto 6 already. I have not played a Grand Theft Auto since probably Vice City. Like, I played some San Andreas a long time ago, but I just kind of got out of love with it with Vice City. So I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. Right now, though, I play on PC, and the only thing I really play is Vanguard. Do I like it? Not really, but I play it. I put myself through the punishment. That way I can upgrade my guns, so when the new Warzone map drops in early December, I can play the shit out of that. And it'll probably be fun for like 2 weeks, and then I'll just never play it again. But typically when it comes to like video games or online games, I typically just jump on, I play with a few friends, we catch up, talk shit, and then somebody rage quits and we leave. That's my gaming experience nowadays. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Jayla Martin says, you only have a review of the first movie. Do I only have a review of the first movie? Neighbors? Maybe that's right. Neighbors review. Maybe you're right. Oh, no, you're a liar, sir. I have a review of Neighbors. Wait. Neighbors, 2014. Wait, what was it called? Neighbors 1 and 2? My brain is melting out of my ear. What was the first Neighbors called? Was it just called Neighbors? Or did I forget to put a 2 in the title of this? This is interesting. So I have a review right here. Let me see. Maybe I did just review the first movie. Huh. For some reason when you're... Or do I have a... What is this? No, I don't. Okay, you're right. Maybe I just have a review for the first movie. For some odd reason, I thought the Halloween scene, or the costume party scene with Zac Efron dressed like Robert De Niro from Taxi Driver, was from the sequel. So you're right. I don't have a sequel for the second Neighbors movie. Here's my review for Neighbors 2. It's exactly like the first movie, except not as good. I give it a C minus. There's my review. I'm sorry. All right. Let's keep going here. And by the way, if you guys are YouTube members, type some shit in right now. I want to see those little green names pop up in the chat. We got Josh Coffey here. Batman says something about Batman Returns. We got Nico Lord. We got Claudia Rojan. We got Josh Coffey. We got Dustin Rich. We got another Nico on here. Would you rather see a live-action Metroid movie or a Castlevania movie? Ooh, that's interesting. So I've only played both those games a few times in my life. What I would like to see is a Zombies Ate My Neighbors movie. How's that? But I think if you had to pick, I think Metroid would do well. Or like a Mega Man movie. I think a Mega Man movie would be kind of cool too. Like that could be a Netflix series or something. Mega Man? That could actually lend itself to be a cool series if you stylistically made it right. Right. We got one here from Yeaman John says, you know, the 1971 Bruce Lee film, The Big Boss, has so many infamous deleted scenes which are erased from history, or who knows, needs a director's cut. Yeah, The Big Boss. Isn't that where he goes up each level fighting a different guy? Essentially like almost a live action video game. You're right. Yeah. He died before the movie was finished, and there's tons of stuff that wasn't filmed, and they had to tack stuff in. And as far as that's what I remember a lot about it. But yeah, I don't think they have enough footage to make a director's cut unless you like went back and like reshot the movie with another actor and like replace Bruce Lee. You could do something like that, but it's like almost a slap in the face to Bruce Lee. So yeah, I don't know how you would go about doing that. John says, have you seen the Nicolas Cage's pinball dance in Willy's Wonderland? Was a bad movie, but with an epic Cage moment. Yeah, that's essentially the only thing I saw from that movie was his pinball dance sequence. And I was like, okay, thank you for that. But I could have just been happy if this was a short film that lasted 12 minutes and the majority of it was that dance. And then it just abruptly ends. I think that would have made for a better movie and gave people what they really wanted to see. And also the movie Pig. That went a completely different direction than I thought it was going to go, speaking of Nicolas Cage. Logo Face has become a member. Yay, thanks, Logo Face. Hybrid Strike, thanks for the super chat, no question, but thank you so much, man. Hey, we got one. Josh Riviera says, yo, John, I was looking at your first video, buddy, and I have to say very much enjoyed the shit, man, had me dying. Yeah, my first video, I think I filmed that in the winter time. And I'm going to pawn shops to buy movies. A lot has happened since then. I was an angry young man. Yeah, I think we're still talking about Neighbors 2. I don't know. That's the running theme of tonight. Josh Coffey says, Patrick Stewart was the original choice for Mr. Freeze and Batman and Robin. Oh my God, damn you, Schumacher. Yeah, also, you know, his third movie was going to be Nicolas Cage as the Scarecrow. And his Batman movie that never came to fruition, which I will say this, okay? I'm glad we got Batman Begins. I'm glad Christopher Nolan took over. But part of me, deep down inside, would love to know the alternate universe in which the Joel Schumacher directed Batman film with Nicolas Cage being one of the villains. That could have been the best performance ever. Maybe we'll do a multiverse Batman movie one day where that is a thing. That is a dream. I want to see that. Have you ever listened to a band called Falling in Reverse from Logo Face? Yeah, man. I actually have a lot of their songs on my Spotify playlist. I started listening to their stuff maybe like in 2018. I like it. It kind of has like a good blend of like hard metal, like a little bit of rap, and it has like they actually sing and has like a good melody. It's like a lot of different things I like combined. So yeah, if you guys haven't listened to Falling in Reverse, definitely recommend it. I don't like everything they do, but I like a majority of it. Joseph Knoll says, favorite Beavis and Butthead moments? Pretty much anytime they were accused of going to whack off in a tool shed was a good time. I liked when they had their job at like their McDonald's job. I always enjoyed all of those scenes. And oh, do you remember their principal? Oh, you little bastards! Oh. Yeah, I liked that. It's been a long time since I've seen Beavis and Butthead. I used to, at one point, have the entire series on DVD. I wonder if I still have that. But I haven't watched Beavis and Butthead in a long time. But I remember Beavis and Butthead Do America when that movie came out. Back in, 97? I thought it was like the best movie ever made. Hybrid Strike says, what do you think of Over the Hedge? Is that a new, like... animated movie or something? I'm just gonna assume it is. I think I've seen the trailer for Over the Hedge or something with the porcupine or something like that in it. I guess I just don't care. Like it, I don't know. That's one movie I can guarantee I'll never watch. But why can't they just make Over the Top make a CGI over the top movie for children? But make it with animals. Make it with animals arm wrestling. Over the Hedge could have been that. Over the Hedge could have been the CGI version of Over the Top, but with animals arm wrestling. I think we all know what would happen if I ran a studio. just fucking CGI movies based on 1980s movies with animals arm wrestling. Okay, let's keep going. Josh says, now I plan to view the whole back catalog, John. Enjoy. Claudio says, are you excited for Darren Aronofsky's The Whale starring Brendan Fraser? I like me some Brendan Fraser. I don't care. I'm glad he's coming back to Hollywood. Let's see. We got one here from Bakatir, has been a member for 11 months. Well, thank you, Bakatir. Let me take a drink of my tasty beverage. Hey, I want to hear the most annoying sound in the world. The most annoying sound in the world? I don't have any audio snippets of Brie Larson from Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. It's great to see you, John. Hope you're having a great night and glad to see you're healthy. I'm healthy. I'm good. I'm alive. Don't worry about me. You guys know I put up a brand new video just like 10 days ago, right? I like how like I've been dead for 5 years. Just resurrected like Jon Snow from the Game of Thrones by the Red Witch. But yeah, it's good to be back too, though. Zane says, what's your all-time favorite wrestler? Mine's Stone Cold. Back in the Attitude Era, Stone Cold all day. I really enjoyed him and Mankind. I really enjoyed Kane. Yeah, I'd say Stone Cold as a kid was my favorite as well, man. Because you just never knew what was going to go down. Is he going to drive into the arena in his pickup truck, a monster truck, his four-wheeler? You don't know. And that was the beautiful thing. It was so exciting. Like, as a kid, it was thrilling. I was like, oh, and I knew it was sports entertainment even as a kid, but I was like, you forgot it was sports entertainment. That's how entertaining it was. I hate a pan. Love you, old flick pick videos. I still say the same shit. Why do you gotta love the old ones? Don't you think it's dumb that Ben Affleck's Batman kills, but the Joker is still alive. Wouldn't he have already killed the Joker from Logo Face? You think logistically, yes, he probably would just have killed him. But for some odd reason, the logic has always been Batman needs the Joker. Psychologically speaking, something about that gives him purpose. It gives them both purpose. That's the made-up answer I'm going to give you. Mason Arnold says, ever listen to the band Coal Chamber? Yes, I believe I have. There's a lot of stuff I've listened to. I might only listen to like one or two songs by that band at some point, but I vaguely remember listening to it. I was listening to some weird, like I used to listen to like bands like Lamb of God when I wanted some like heavy metal music. Joseph Knoll says, thoughts on The Saint and Corpse Bride. The Saint with Val Kilmer from 96. I thought that was sort of a cool movie. It had a great concept. It's sort of like a spy espionage movie where he uses different identities to infiltrate things. The opening scene in The Saint is really cool. I liked like he's wearing like a black like ninja tech suit, and then it's a really cool opening. It has Elizabeth Shue in the movie. I'd say the second half of the movie gets a little lost. But yeah, The Saint's a good movie to watch on a rainy night. I like some of his different identities that he portrays in the movie. Like there's one where he plays sort of like a very artsy guy at an airport, and he goes, I just remember this scene so vividly. He goes, "Oh, it's so early. I want some coffee or something." It's so just if you can find that clip on YouTube, go watch it. The Corpse Bride was one of the stop motion animated movies I never sat down and watched. I just wasn't into it. Yeaman John says, Russell Crowe had an incredible run of movies from the late 90s like Gladiator, well, actually early 2000s, like Gladiator, Insider, Master and Commander, Cinderella Man, 310 to Yuma, Beautiful Mind. Yeah, those are all 2000s and beyond movies, but I get what you're saying. He did, yeah, absolutely. Master and Commander, I still stand by as being one of the most underrated movies of all time, if not the most underrated movie. Like, if you want a spectacular, epic sea drama action movie, time period movie, which are all these different things I love culminating into one movie, watch Master and Commander. You will not be disappointed. And if you are, well, I don't know what to tell you. Then go watch Gladiator. It was like 13 days, dude. Really? My last video was 13 days ago on this channel? I thought it was 11. Well, I'm sorry. But that's why I do live shows. Because now you have 2 hours of content. I didn't just put out a 5-minute shitty review. No, I give you 2 hours, okay? 2 hours of quality time. And I will have actually another video up after. Just give me an hour after this video is done, and I will put out my quick reactions to Ghostbusters Afterlife in Walmart. I think you guys will enjoy it. Trading Places, what a movie. I agree. I like it. I like the way your lips look, boy. Well, thank you for that, sir. That's why I will never do Hard Time. I can't. The next one comes from Josh Rivera says, still wasn't that good, but kind of got what they wanted. Lady Gaga was poo-poo. Are we talking about House of Gucci? I'm not going to watch that movie. I don't care. I don't want to watch Lady Gaga. I don't know why. Something about it really puts me off. The next one comes from Duck Dodgers 24th and a half century. Stuckman had a Batman movie. Would he use bat nips? I would hope so. I would hope so. I mean, why would you not? I know I would. I guess, man. I don't know. Ask him. Dude, Walking Tall with The Rock is so slept on. Yeah, it's a good, easy, rainy day movie. It's like an easy get-through hour-and-a-half movie, Walking Tall with The Rock, which is a remake. I always enjoyed it. I thought the villain feels a little bit cheap. But overall, I remember liking it in theaters. I thought it was one of the better early Rock movies. Actually, if I had to say the best overall action movie The Rock has starred in from start to finish, it's still going to be The Rundown. directed by Peter Berg from 2003. Still great. And Sean William Scott's in the movie when Hollywood would still hire the guy. So, okay, I think I missed a question here, and I'm going to try to find it. And sorry if I miss anything, guys. I try to read everything, and they just pop up so quick. Matthew Nunez. I feel like I think I answered your questions, man, unless there's something I didn't see. Did you? I answered your previous question, Matthew. If I do miss it, I will attach it to the next live show and answer it right away. If I did miss it, I think I answered it though. I was looking on there. I didn't see it though yet. Logo Face says, do you think No Pain No Gain with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg is super underrated? I have a review for the movie if you want to check it out. The concept was great, but it got way too Michael Bay-ish. It got way too Michael Bay-ish. Like it makes you want to vomit sometimes when you're watching it, just because like Michael Bay does not know how to color grade a movie sometimes. But I loved Mark Wahlberg and The Rock in the movie. I love the concept. I like the over the top, like dark comedy aspect of the movie. I gotta get a pump. Like I like those things. I just wish another director could have possibly handled it. Yeeman John says, speaking of Stone Cold, check out the submission match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania. I've seen the Bret Hart WrestleMania Stone Cold match at WrestleMania 13, where Austin's face is covered in blood during the sharpshooter. I've seen that shit. Come on, man. That's a great match. It's good stuff. Zane says, in your prime, what was your max bench and what is it now? I honestly have not tried to max out on benching since I've been back in the gym for the last few months. I think my max of all time was just over 305. 305, 310, something like that. And I just tried it once and did it. When it comes to benching, like I remember doing incline bench and being able to put 245 on there and just repping it out for 12 reps. But I never my goal was never to max out. I just, something about maxing out I don't believe in. Unless you can lift that weight 10 times up and down, that's the number. That's your bench. That is the number you say you can do. If you can do it once, well, okay, you could kind of do it once. You got lucky, but can you do it 10 times? That's proven. That's a fact. So yeah, I've never been big into maxing out things. But I think around 300 and something. The thing with benching though, I'm not really built for benching. I'm built for like curls and things like that. I feel like my arms are like too long. So whenever I bench press, I felt like I had to work twice as hard to do the same number as some other guys who had like shorter, stubbier arms. But yeah, that was my bench press max, I believe. Claudia Rogajon says, finishing up Smallville, best Lex Luthor ever. Why can't we have Lex Luthor that's smart, methodical, and intimidating and well-spoken? The only thing I didn't like about the Smallville Lex Luthor, and keep in mind I've only seen a few episodes of Smallville, I just didn't like the way he looked. I know, maybe that's nitpicky. He just didn't look menacing enough to me. Logo Face says, do you think No Pain No Gain with The Rock and Mark... Oh, let me catch up on these chats here. Okay, there we go. Dustin Rich says, do you think Tom Cruise has ever killed people? I think Tom Cruise drinks the blood of fetuses to stay alive. I really do. That's the only excuse you could tell me that makes me believe the things he can do and why he aged so gracefully. That or he's like taking human growth hormones. I don't know. But yeah, Tom Cruise is definitely doing something weird. But I still like the guy. Gabriel Miller says Over the Hedge. We talked about Over the Hedge a little bit ago, and I will not talk about it further. Nor have I seen Over the Hedge. I think it's the movie with the porcupine or whatever the hell that is. Is that what we're talking about? I don't even know. We got Jesse. Oh, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Yeah, or Lex Luthor's son. Yeah, that was terrible. Dustin Rich says, "Would you like to see a movie where Nick Cage and Michael Shannon freak out and yell at people?" Yes, yes. Any movie with Nicholas. My favorite part of the movie Pig with Nicolas Cage was at one point in the movie he takes a kid's bicycle and the kid goes, "That's mine," and Nicolas Cage just goes, "Ah!" and then runs away. It was great. Uh, it was so good. All right, guys, I'm gonna answer a few more questions because I'm getting tired and I need to edit this video real quick for you guys. How long? We've been talking for a while, right? Hour and 40 minutes. Okay. All right. And by the way, thanks to all 332 of you guys watching right now. Really appreciate it. Claudia Rogan said, no. Darkside Master says, I can tell how many Sony employees were fired after leaking so many stuff. Yeah, was it the Sony employees who actually leaked it, or didn't some internal documents get leaked over the years? I mean, I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, I swear there was a leak talking about making a multiverse Spider-Man movie with multiple Spider-Mans in it. I swear that was like a thing years ago. Or maybe I'm just thinking Into the Spider-Verse. Joseph Knoll says, thoughts on 2012 Woody Harrelson eats pickles. Yes, yeah, sure. Woody Harrelson eating pickles. Joseph, I miss your questions on Patreon. What happened to you, man? Matthew, if you have a question, just ask it right now. I'll see it. So if you have a question, Matthew, just ask your question. I'll see it right here in the normal chat because I can't seem to find it wherever you asked it. Sorry. Let's see. By the way, did you guys see Ghostbusters Afterlife tonight? Let me know if you did. And also, I have a question for you guys. Are you going to see the new Resident Evil movie next week? I know I am. I can't wait. Like, it looks like such a direct-to-DVD movie. Like, why is the new Resident Evil movie not just premiering on, like, Amazon Prime? I'm not sure. Did they have to make this movie legally to keep the rights or something? It's just shitting. They're just shitting it out. Bucketeer says, "Hey John, are you going to do any advent calendars for this holiday season? You deserve a cheat day with some pizza or some prizes or chocolate." The advent calendars? Is that the thing where you open up the little door and you get a prize? I don't know. Probably not. I still need to watch the Ghostbusters movies. You've never seen the Ghostbusters movies? Go watch them right now. Vigo the Carpathian is my spirit animal. Just don't watch the 2016 movie. What a piece of shit. I don't know what that means. I don't know what this means. I've been looking forward to Ghostbusters ever since the first trailer 2 years ago. Yeah, you and me both, man. It was only delayed like 8 times. I will say, I enjoyed it for the most part. It definitely has fan service, and it felt like a real movie. Is it what I would have done if I was making a Ghostbusters movie? Maybe not. But it's good. It's not perfect, but it's good. Hey, John, if you could take Slimer from Ghostbusters on a date, would you? Absolutely. I'd take him home and have a great time. Speaking of Slimer from Ghostbusters, check this shit out. Who you gonna call? Yeah, this is my Slimer piggy bank. I was gonna put in the back of my Ghostbusters Afterlife review. This is actually worth $3,000 on eBay right now. Did you guys know that? That's not true. All right. I'm going to hold it for the remainder of the live show. Okay, the next question. All Okay, some of the questions I don't comprehend. Black Friday next week, kiddos. Ready to go to Best Buy and wait in line for 3 hours. Don't go to Best Buy and wait in line for 3 hours. Let me tell you a little thing you can do, right? You take the ad. Whatever item you're trying to get at Best Buy that's a good deal, take that ad, go to another store selling the same item, and they will price match it. Boom, done. You don't need to stand in line for 3 hours. Best Buy's lines are terrible on Black Friday. You don't need to be there. You don't need to. Fan service and full of references. Yeah, the new Ghostbusters is definitely full of references and does have fan service. But in my opinion, when you make a new Ghostbusters movie, you need to put that fan service in there. I'm sorry, you just need to. And as long as you balance it right, I feel like I would have done a little bit different. If it was me, I would have handled it differently, but it's not bad. I enjoyed it. Slimer's hot. Absolutely, man. Matthew Nunes says, I think they'll allow Cavill to be Bond because he got beat up by Cruise in Fallout. Remember all the Pacino speech in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Oh, you don't think they'll allow him to be... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Because, well, I mean... No, I don't think anyone cares about that. That's not reality anymore. You can be anyone in Hollywood. You can be crazy one week, do something weird in the news. You can be Ezra Miller and choke some lady and be the Flash next week. Anything goes anymore. It's upside down world. I think Henry Cavill could be the new James Bond, even though he got beat up by Tom Cruise in a bathroom and Fallout. I think it's fine. All right. Claudia Rogajan says, who's your ideal casting choice for Lex Luthor? Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'd have to really contemplate that. I mean, I remember at one time everyone was saying Walter White Heisenberg should be the new Lex Luthor. In my opinion, he would be menacing and evil, and I would believe that. But I think that's a little too on the nose. I don't know. I don't know who would be a good Lex Luthor. I'd really have to think about it. Definitely anyone besides Jesse Eisenberg would be fine. RJ, repeat over the hedge, essentially... into the camera 20 times. I'll do it once. Over the hedge. And that's what you get from me. All right. Max Nugenbauer says, thoughts on Cowboys versus Aliens. I think it's one of those films that's good, but nowhere near as good as it should have been. I actually did not like Cowboys versus Aliens. I thought Jon Favreau directed that, and I thought it was such a waste of his directing talents. I actually thought it was a waste of everyone in the film. Because it's like the premise is what they say it is, but the aliens are really boring. Isn't there some like weird gold that they use as energy or something in the movie? I just thought it was like one of the most instantly forgettable movies of all time. Like I was just like, I don't care about anything happening in this. I vaguely remember it, but that's just because I didn't think it was that good. My brain instantly forgot it when I left the theater that day. That's what I remember about Cowboys versus Aliens. James McAvoy would be a good Lex Luthor, but it's like too on the nose. He already had his shaved head for Professor X. But I mean, if they cast him as like a new Lex Luthor, I'd be fine with that. No Time to Die is the best movie of the year so far. It's probably going to make it my top 10. I mean, it's definitely a year I'm struggling to find like 10 movies I love. I mean, I can put 10 movies in there that were like the best that I saw, but I always hate doing that because like I want to put 10 movies in there like I truly loved. And it's a year where I didn't love 10 movies. I just didn't. Your lips look dry, John. Do they? I'm sorry. I've been talking a lot. It's cold outside. It was very windy tonight, so they might be a little chapped. And please forgive me for that. I'll moisturize immediately following the live stream. Jeff Bezos looks like Lex Luthor. Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. Come on now, man. Dune was good. Dune was good. I was hoping for like an amazing sci-fi movie that would blow me away, and I just don't think story-wise I got that. But it was good. Yes, visually speaking, well crafted, very well made movie. Yeah, shave Gyllenhaal's head and make him Lex Luthor. Fine by me. My phone never tells me when you start a live show. Well, you need to throw that thing against the wall right now. Here's what you guys can do if you want to. Because YouTube hates me and they want to suppress my videos. That's why only 30% of my subscribers get my videos 90% of the time. That's a fact. I was told by YouTube. But what you can do to help this out, not only do you have to subscribe to my channel, click that little stupid notification bell beside the subscribe button so you get notified when I put up a video. That really does help. You should get notifications in that way. Also, what you can do is just follow me on like Facebook or Twitter, because every time I go live, I will post it there first. So follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and also follow me on Instagram too. I've been putting a lot more stuff there, like story-wise. I have a TikTok too. You don't have to follow me there if you don't want to, but if you want to, please do. All right. And all those links are down below. Thoughts on the Wolverine Unleashed extended cut from Matthew Nunez. I did not see the Wolverine Unleashed extended cut. I did not see that, nor do I really know what that is. But I will say this: I like that Disney announced that they will have they're going to have a new X-Men animated series taking place in '97. Because growing up, the X-Men series was one of my favorite. You had X-Men, you had Doug, you had the Batman animated series, and I was like, that was my life. So I'm hoping it's good. And by the way, speaking of like animated, well, I'm speaking about it. Speaking of the animated X-Men series, the opening song to that, oh man, that makes me want to just get up and do a berserker attack. I love it. Claudia Rogajon says, John Flickinger as Lex Luthor, how much money would it take for you to shave your head? Not much. It really wouldn't take much. Not much. I'll shave my head. Hair grows back. Not much. If you buy me a new 77-inch LG OLED TV, I'll shave my head. That's my price. All right. Because that's what I'm going to put on my credit card this holiday season. Your lips won't be dry when I get done with them. I hope not, sir. Okay. Favorite Ghostbuster? Bill Murray, man. Come on. No one's better than Murray in the Ghostbusters movies. He's what holds it together. All right, guys, I'm going to answer like one or two more questions and wrap up tonight's live show, but I just wanted to say thank you guys. It's been a while. I wanted to come back and do something. I figured we could talk about the new Spider-Man trailer because I was going to make a video about it, and then it was just like, the time had passed, and I was like, but I still want to talk about it. So, but nevertheless, it's always fun to do a new live show. Thoughts on Lightyear from Darkside Master? I don't think it looks bad. Do I need the real life version of Buzz Lightyear the toy was based on in an animated movie? I just don't think that's something I need to see and want to see. Like, will I probably watch it? Yeah, I think it'll be well made. But I just don't care. Like, I literally do not give a shit about it. Like, I'm just like, that's not a movie. If you gave me 100 years, do I think my brain would cultivate that idea that I need to see that? Like, is that a premise anyone wanted to see? Not for me. But I probably will watch it though. Dustin Rich says, since you kind of look like Scarlett Johansson and you're attracted to her, have you ever thought about putting on a wig and dancing around in front of the mirror? I don't need a wig to do that, my good man. And yes, I have. Thank you for that question. That's a good question. That's a real question. Yeah. Like a red wig and like a pleather jumpsuit. That's what I need to be for Halloween. I think that's a good question to leave on. I think it's time to go now. I think with that question, it's time. It's getting weird now. I'm going to go. I'm going to take my Slimer and exit now. But as always, guys, oh my God. Sometimes I read things in the chat that I just don't say, and I wish I could. You're not balding, are you, John? No, unfortunately, I'm not balding. I've had the same hairline since I think I was 20. So like 14 years, I'm probably good to go. Not to say it might not thin out a little bit more into my late 30s, early 40s, but if it does, I will just shave my head and, in fact, become Lex Luthor. But as always, guys, thank you guys so much for the questions, just watching, hanging out for a little bit. I will return to weekly live shows once again for the rest of this month. And I will do a Black Friday video. I will have a Ghostbusters Afterlife review. But what I want you guys to do in about an hour, look out for Ghostbusters Afterlife live reaction coming to this channel in 1 hour. So check your sub boxes. If you guys want to see that, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for the questions. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. Take care.